So we're already seeing things going all over the world. So I'm going to continue at speed 5, and then around the 16th century, we'll probably slow it down, or, I mean, it really depends on the wars that are going on, as well as how much colonization takes place before then. So we had a pretty big resulting battle, or I guess war, at the end of that last video. China versus Mongolia. China definitely asserted their own Mongolian, their own dominance on Mongolia. I meant Mongolia is going to be okay. Genghis Khan's still going to be okay, but he is going to be in a very, very tough spot because now China looks like they're going to have to worry about the Koreans. That is for sure. Which actually they have a neutral opinion right now, as you can see. Mongolia is continuing to colonize, which is smart. Right now they have a neutral opinion, but I don't think that's going to last for very much longer. As soon as the Koreans start to grab, I guess it's going to be referred to as Korean China, I believe, in EU4, then that's when things are going to be a little bit more difficult for the Chinese to be okay with the Koreans. But we'll see. Looks like we have a Polish-Austrian war. Yes, and now we're starting to get to that point where we have 2-on-2. All right, so what's happening? Poland and Venice are working together against Austria and Rome. Ooh, Austria and Rome, that is not good. That is really not good. By the way, Rome didn't take anything away from Greece. I don't think I mentioned that in the last video. That was Rome's probably only chance. Now, what was this war exactly for? We also have the Ottomans going after Byzantium. This is an offensive war made by the Ottomans. Interesting. There's a lot of nations going to war with Byzantium. Don't know why. Okay, so we have it's a Venetian conquest of Roma. So Venice wants the capital of Rome, and this is a very, very valuable province. That's why I'm thinking this is sort of a bigger war in terms of this time period for this part of the campaign. Poland seems to obviously be having success against Austria. Austria fighting two fronts, but I'm sure the Venetians have got to be kind of more focused on the Roman borders than the Austrians. But again, I mean, the Venetians are really powerful. The Venetians and where they're at in this world, you got to give a lot of credit to them. They're gonna be tough to stop, especially now that they already controlled almost the entire Italian peninsula. But luckily, bam, there goes the peace deal, and Venice has just grabbed. Usually, what's happening here is that those lands were being colonized. The colonization is given up to the war victor. And then they're like, I don't want to colonize this land anymore. That's why you're going to see that. We saw the same thing happen in Iberia, and I was confused back then in the previous video. Now I understand why. All right, so Venice almost has entire control over the Italian peninsula. Rome still holding two provinces, though, Corsica and Lucca. They still have a chance of maybe, surviving, but I'm not sure for how much longer. Spain is starting to get closer and closer to the Venetians, so I'm sure that is going to kind of pose a bigger threat to them. I think that Spain could be, although it really depends on what see, that's big. Venice allied to some of the most powerful nations in the world right now. Poland, not so much, but Portugal, who'd be a great counter to a Spanish war, as well as Byzantium. Venice and Byzantium, you guys can't be working together. That probably won't last for very long. I'm sure that won't. Ooh, the French are not happy. The French working together with the Danish, as well as the Germans going with Elizabeth into war. Why is this happening? It's the German conquest of actually Wismar of Denmark. So that called the English and the French into the war. We have Portugal and Morocco. There's our first kind of more traditional EU4 war that went down. Portugal looking pretty strong so far. Not sure where the Moroccan army is at the moment. There they are. There's a 19 stack. And in the fourth video, by the way, because we'll probably be into the 16th century by then, I'll look over the ledger and we'll look into army sizes and look exactly who is so far winning the campaign after the first 60 years or whatever that might be. Denmark is actually dominating Germany. Why is that? I don't think I've been taking note that Denmark has been colonizing east of the Baltic Sea, which is really going to be putting Germany in a really tough spot. So you are black flagged. Why is that? You were formerly in Swedish territory, not anymore. Bam, now we have the Celts going into modern-day Norway, maybe cutting off the Netherlands. Yeah, the Celts haven't reached Greenland yet. I don't even know if they have that region of the map discovered. Probably not. I seriously doubt it. It's still pretty early on. But you never know. I mean, it's getting to that point where you never know. So far, it looks like there's a distinct winner. Yeah, Germany's getting their butt kicked. Negative 54 war score. But keep in mind, we also have the Netherlands just joining in, so that could tip the tide back in the favor of possibly the Germans and the English, but we'll see. Portugal and Morocco. Portugal's actually not winning their war with negative 13 war score. I wonder why. Well, Portugal has been colonizing North Africa. This makes sense that they wanted to go after the Moroccans a little bit. Is there anything else that's going on? We've had a few Egyptian-Arabian wars, but they've ended, really fast. This time Egypt has Babylon on their side. Babylon won't be able to contribute much unless, of course, they move throughout the Arabian Peninsula to get over towards here and attack Ramses. Let's double check on what's going on with Germany. Okay. Yeah, this really could tip the tide because the Netherlands have a pretty huge stack right here. For this part in the campaign, a 30 stack is pretty powerful. Oh, but the Danish do as well. And Denmark has won that battle, pushing William back to his own lands. And that is it, I believe, for the English and the Germans. That war is over. The Arabians at negative 65 war score. What's going on here? Nothing really happened for the most part, it looks like. The English still control their province. Actually, no, they did have another corps, but that wasn't too bad. Germany, I don't think, lost anything. Yeah, I think they're fine. I don't think Germany lost anything. I think it was just England. England desperately trying to keep their foothold in continental Europe. It's a smart choice. It's a very smart choice for Elizabeth. She kind of needs to do this. How did Portugal do? Yeah, Portugal's doing much better. Portugal's going to be a big threat to the Carthaginians and the Moroccans. Songhai reaching down south. That's exactly what they needed to do. Arabia at negative 70 war score. And William is not going to win their war against Denmark either. Well, that's because France is on their side. Or France is probably helping out a lot. I didn't realize that France had also joined in against William. Obviously, that's a big deal. Okay, wait. So this was an Arabian offensive war. So it was Egypt and Babylon. I see. Yeah, Arabia is going to have a really tough time there. That's strange because Harun al-Rashid declared that offensively himself. Well, now he's doing okay. But here come the Babylonians. Yeah, now here come the Babylonians. The Ottomans getting pushed and pushed further east, just east of the Black Sea now. Byzantium is almost controlling all of kind of, former, Byzantine Empire territory. Former, Byzantine Empire, the region, I guess, in our own history. Ooh, Persia just declared a really quick war, I think, on Babylon. Oh, or did they join in? Whoa! Oh, I was like, wait a second. Did Persia also declare war on Arabia? No, Egypt just took a huge chunk away from Arabia. Oh, Ethiopia, you better be ready for this. You're fighting three people. Oh, Persia is fighting Babylon, the Ottomans, and Egypt. I don't think that the Egyptians can actually get over this way, actually. So Egypt and the Ottomans aren't going to be able to contribute much to this war. So Persia could still win this, even though they're fighting all these, sort of different foes. Wow. Good for Darius. That's incredible. How's India doing? India's doing fine. So is Siam. Off to a very slow start. China's borders are getting more and more clean. I'm sure, yep, here comes the negative opinion that China and Korea are going to have of each other. Japan, luckily for them, are just kind of doing their own thing. So maybe it will be Japan that actually ends up being a bigger threat because these two are kind of going to be preoccupied with themselves. Japan's got to get off the Japanese mainland. They've got to colonize the Japanese mainland first and then get off of it into eastern China. Here goes Polynesia. With Australia already, they're still off to a pretty fast start. I mean, it's going to take some time, but we'll see. Latin America is definitely going to be a very slow process. I think we're going to see colonization from either the Europeans or the Africans, which is going to make things more entertaining in Latin America. The Mayans, I believe, have maybe the Aztecs just are not colonizing. I don't think there's a war going on. There's a war that just went down. All right, well, the Mayans might start to dominate the Aztecs then. It looks that way. Mayan and the Aztecs. We've got a second Chinese-Mongolian war. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's not good. But I think we're going to see the same effect that happened to the Ottomans. The Mongolians are just going to get pushed further and further east. Yep, just like that. So they're just going to colonize out that way. All right, so we're going to see a very dominant China, it looks like. A very, very dominant China. I'm wondering if the Huns are starting to feel the threat of Byzantium. They've got to. Because even though the Huns could have a successful campaign, but they're too close to Byzantium, I think, right now. So Russia, I think, maybe even Russia and Byzantium will work together. The Venetians have still this amazing alliance. Yeah, that is insane. That is insane. Yep, the Mayans have 67 war score. Ooh, the Egyptians might lose this. Oh, yeah, that's right. Keep in mind. Oh, my gosh, I completely forgot about that. In the previous series, a whole new nation popped out. It didn't even become Civ 5 AI only. It was, who popped out? That was incredible, though. Because of rebels, separatists rose up, I believe, I have no idea where, and I believe someone popped out in Africa, an African tribe. Was it Ashanti or something? I don't remember, but I believe it was a Civ 5 mod, which made it really funny. But yeah, so we might see that. Now that I saw rebels for the first time, I'm like, oh, wait a second, yeah, we could totally see separatists arise and break countries apart. So this might not turn into an entirely Civ 5 game, but we'll see. It's always really fun to get a guest appearance there. Maybe it was. I know it was somebody. Whoever broke out was a part of either the Civ 5 mod world, or maybe they were a Civ 5 city-state. Something like that, which was really cool. The Aztecs are starting to push back. They absolutely need this, because the Mayans are growing so much in strength. They're growing so powerful. And we did just enter the 1500s. Yeah, the Mayans are actually down to 11 war score. Surprised we haven't seen any Iroquois-American wars just yet. The two definitely don't like each other, but I don't think they are getting involved in too many wars. The Americans just need to colonize to the south and just stay at peace for now. For Washington, it's just a waiting game. He'll beat the Iroquois with time when he grabs these much more developed lands to the south. The Iroquois, not so much. There's not much land up here. I mean, there is. There's not much well-developed land, I guess I should say, up in the Canadian region. Unless they move over towards the east, the eastern coast, then yeah, it gets better and better. Yeah, well, I guess we could just check on it. I mean, they've been developing this on their own. I guess some of this is going to be developed on their own. I didn't realize that this was so well developed. I had no idea. It's already at 10. Wow. 10 base tax. Actually, you know what? Maybe I take that back. Maybe it isn't as valuable of land as I thought. It doesn't look like it, surprisingly enough. So maybe Washington's going to have a little bit more trouble than I thought. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go and check on some more wars. No wars. All right, nice. There will become this part in this campaign where a lot of alliances will start to form. So the wars will become less frequent, but they get bigger and bigger, which is really fun. Yeah, the Celts are actually doing more colonization. I think the Netherlands are more sticking to continental Europe now, just moving down south instead of going after Norway or Norwegian territory. Luckily, Venice has allowed Rome to survive for a little bit longer. Rome has escaped to North Africa. We also have the Assyrians. We have the Assyrians kind of asserting their dominance in the Middle East, but they're gonna be facing a threat from Persia. The Ottomans, luckily for the Ottomans, allied to Babylon and the Huns, so they will not go down without a fight. The Arabian Peninsula now being colonized heavily by the Egyptians, by Babylon, by the Arabians. The Zulu also off to a fast start. I think the Zulu could have a really good game. Ethiopia seems like they might be just in a very tough spot. They can't do too much. They need to start moving fast, though, or else the Egyptians and all their power are going to declare war, and it will not be pretty. Yep. So I think we might be starting to witness our first, England up here, our maybe first superpower. I mean, I know that not yet. I'm just saying, like, in the future, China's going to be really strong. But let's not forget, so is Siam. Siam will also be incredibly powerful. Let's look at development here. Look at all this that Siam already has under their control. I guess India as well. But this stuff is going to be really, really good land to control. I'm thinking, China, Siam, India, the Zulu. I know the Zulu are kind of random, But I do think there's a little bit of still that magic that the Zulu have in Civ 5 that will kind of transfer over because of their location and because of what they can do in EU4. And we'll kind of keep that in mind. Oh, yep. So the Aztecs are not having a good time anymore. They're down to 3 provinces. So the Mayans might have a lot of success here. Who is this? Wow, Portugal already at the Caribbean. They're already in the Caribbean. So we can witness Western European colonization of the New World already, which will make the New World more entertaining, which is perfect because there hasn't really been much going on so far in that location. Portugal also starting to go after West Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa. So Portugal will be a colonial powerhouse. So will France. I'm surprised. Oh, France is involved in a war. 2 wars, and they're winning both of them. China versus Korea. Oh, that war just broke out. The Netherlands with France and Denmark. England versus the Celts and France. Oh, they're not winning one. The Netherlands are losing this against France, which of course they are. The French can't ever get to the British Isles because of the English dominance in the North Sea in terms of their navy. But England will probably have a good time going after the Celts, which isn't a big surprise. England will probably wait to the last second till they grab the French colony in the British Isles. Ooh, did you see all that colonization that just went down by the French? Just a whole bunch. Just boom, 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 boom. Holy crap. Yeah, because France and Denmark... Because it's just France and Denmark versus the Netherlands, I mean, they're obviously going to always dominate William here. Although, I think, let's not underestimate William. He's a pretty good, he's in a good location. He's got well-developed provinces as well. Also, I should say. But, yeah, I mean, it's France. It's France, baby. So that stuff's just going to happen. It's going to be tough. I don't know if William's going to lose a lot, though. I mean, he's tried a war like this in the past, and he didn't lose that much. Looks like he's winning a few battles here and there. So that is good. For him, I guess. Oh, China's winning their war with Korea. I should have been checking in on that. Yes, they are. And China's dominating their war with Korea, I should say. They've got a 35 stack, an 8 stack. Japan might start to feel the heat a little bit, depending on how much China decides to take from Korea. China might not take that much. It really depends. Korea will still definitely be able to dominate the Navy game. That is until Korea goes to war with Japan, and I'm sure Japan will have the upper hand there. Oh my gosh. The world's just wars everywhere. So, yep, I think it's definitely that time where we're going to have to slow it down to maybe speed 4 or 3 now that there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot more stuff going on, and only more going to continue to go on as we progress further and further. Yep, so Portugal is going to be dominating the Caribbean, and the war is going to be going on everywhere. I don't know if we're going to see anyone die in the next video. We might, someone like Rome, perhaps, but who is Venice at war with? Ooh, Venice and Spain teaming up against the very powerful Portugal. That's going to make things very interesting. Anyways, guys, I'm going to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.